Senator Wicker. Senator Ernst, please.
Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Wicker, and distinguished members of the committee, it is my privilege today to introduce my dear friend and a native Iowan, Randy A. George, for his nomination to be Chief of Staff of the U.S. Army. As a veteran of the Iowa Army National Guard, I know firsthand that the role of the Chief of Staff of the Army is one of the most important in the military. I believe General George is the right man for this critical job. General George had humble beginnings growing up in Alden, Iowa, a town with just over 700 residents. He joined the Army straight out of high school as a junior enlisted soldier. He had a great eagerness to learn and later commissioned from West Point in 1988 as an infantry officer with a Bachelor of Science in Engineering. Later in his career, he attended the Naval War College and eventually became an instructor. General George is a decorated warfighter with extensive combat service, including in the Gulf War, the Iraq War, and the war in Afghanistan. He's an experienced leader, holding command at every echelon in and out of combat. In 2008, he commanded the 4th Brigade Combat Team in the 4th Infantry Division while in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Later in 2017, he returned to Afghanistan, this time commanding the entire 4th Infantry Division. Most recently, he commanded I Corps, managing daily activities for more than 44,000 soldiers to deploy, fight, and win decisively in the Indo-Pacific region. Throughout his service, General George never shied away from difficult tasks and completed them with distinction. He's a skilled joint officer, having served in the Joint Staff J3 and responsible for geographic combat operation. And he's distinguished himself as the Vice Chief of Staff of the Army, a position he assumed in August. In this role, General George has been instrumental in helping lead our great U.S. Army. As new threats emerge, our Army must maintain highly trained and lethal forces to fight and win the nation's wars. And I have full confidence that he understands the requirements of our Army at this critical time. If confirmed, General George will spearhead Army modernization to deter or, if necessary, defeat great powers. General George is also laser-focused on the betterment of our Army, from recruiting and retention to readiness and training. He knows the needs of soldiers and their families. General George is a hard-working public servant, but I would be remiss not to not mention that General George is also a great family man. It truly takes an extraordinary family to serve in our military, and I would like to thank his wife and West Point classmate, Patty, and their 2 children, Grant and Andy, for their selfless commitment and support over the years. I firmly believe that General George's qualifications, record, and character, and of course, his great home state, make him the right nominee to serve in this important role. General George has my full confidence. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.